In fact, that's probably why there's nobody watching other than you right now. But that's okay. The two of us are here, and we're going to still have a good time. And I can see that the table is rocking if I lean on it. So I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? So let me bring this around here for the moment and fill you guys in on what's going on. So recently, I went to Disneyland. I was a guest of a former cast member, somebody who was a skipper on the Jungle Boat cruise, and another current cast member. And the three of us spent last week, the better part of last week, just touring the park and getting some wonderful stories about Walt Disney, about former and current. Hey, Nosh, you made it. Yes, it is me. About what it's like to work at the park, especially back in the late 70s, early 80s. Hey, hello, hi, 821. Good to see you too. So like I said, I went with this gentleman. His name is George Trullinger. Some of you, if you've watched last Wednesday's live stream, you'll know who I'm talking about. And if you haven't watched it, go look at it. The link's in the description box. Well, at least it will be when I get done, okay? But that being said, I shot a ton of video with my new iPhone Pro 13. And, excuse me for 1 second. I did it all without the gimbal. And I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the, what do they call it? The internal stabilization of the camera. It did a wonderful job. And the footage looks great. And yesterday and today, I went on an editing binge. OIS, oh yes. I did 12 hours, actually almost 13 hours straight yesterday. I didn't go to bed till midnight, or excuse me. I went to bed at 2 a.m., which would have been today, 2 a.m. this morning, got up at 6 and continued to edit. And I have the project, I would say about 85% there. Now, here's the deal. I'm editing a brand new editing software. I used to use Premiere Pro. I used it for more than a decade. I very much like Premiere Pro. It's a fine program. But I chafe at the concept of subscription models. I don't like basically being a slave, which is what I am. I'm being held hostage. If I don't pay that amount monthly, they shut me off, and I can never see what I've worked on again, other than what's been rendered and put up on YouTube. And I heard a lot of people talk about another program. Hey, amen to that, Nosh. I'm getting ready to cut the cord. Oh, yes, I am. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, I looked into a program called DaVinci Resolve 17. And boy, was I pleasantly surprised. Absolutely. Now, I will say this. There's a very steep learning curve, at least it is for me. There are things that are intuitive, and then again, there are things that aren't. But thank God for YouTube. There are lots of great tutorials out there, and bingo, I've been, over here looking at the tutorials for the last 4 or 5 days. I've picked up what I needed to know. This is my third time using this software, and each time I use it, I get more comfortable with it. I'm more satisfied with what it can do, and the fact is it can do more than I even know how to do yet. One of those areas is color grading. Now, I knew how to color grade in the other program, but this is sophisticated, way beyond my knowledge base. And I know a lot about color grading because I do it for my photography. So, with that in mind, I thought I would share with you what I've been working on, and maybe even, if you're all good little boys and girls, I'll share some of the video with you, in real time. Now, here's one of the downsides I'm having right now. Yeah, I I was using Final Cut Pro until Final Cut rather until they went to Final Cut Pro, and then it became, in my opinion, iMovie on steroids, and I hated iMovie. Now maybe it's better now. I don't know. I should check into it. I think I may even have it on my computer. It probably comes with it. But I've got this. I like it. I may look into the other thing. Hey, Paul. Good day. Good to see you too. I am going to stick with DaVinci Resolve 17 for the time being. Rolling with Joe, my man. Hey, another Disney person. By the way, guys, Rolling with Joel. Okay, Nosh, I saw that. Rolling with Joel lives in Florida, and he does videos about the park down there. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description box later today, too. So go watch him. And Scorpion Sea, fantastic. The team is rolling in. Excellent. So just a quick recap for those of you guys who've just come into the classroom, as it were. I went to Disneyland. I was a guest of a former cast member and a current cast member. I got some fantastic footage. I've been working on it for the last 2 days. I did a marathon session yesterday. I did like 13 hours or whatever it was. I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. I got up at 6. I'm fried, if you want to know the truth. But I want to play with this thing. I want it done. But delayed gratification must kick in, and it has. Now, really, I do too. My first time to the park was in 1961. I think that gives you an idea exactly how old I was. With subs, rolling to Joel. Yeah, and as a child, during the 60s, my brothers and I, my 3 younger brothers, we would cut the yard of our neighbors to get money, collect pop bottles, turn them in for nickels and all that stuff to get cash. Because at that time, you could get into the park for 50 cents admission. And ticket books, I think, were between $5 and $10 for, depending on how many, if you had E tickets, C tickets, D, and so on and so forth. But we actually had a secret that a lot of people didn't pick up on until later. At the end of the day, we would stay at the gate and we'd ask people, do you have any ticket books that you don't want? And they would give them to us, including books that had the coveted E-ticket. So all we needed to do was have enough money to get into the park, pay for our lunches, and maybe buy an extra ticket or two if we didn't have enough for all 3 of us. It was a grand time. We did that for about 3 or 4 summers. And in fact, my youngest brother, who's now deceased, he was only like about 5 years old. And we would use him in a way that's not really appropriate now that I think about it as an adult. But because he's a little kid, he could wind his way up to near the front of the line. No one said, hey, kid, get out of there. My other brother, who was the middle brother, he and I would wait for about 10 minutes or less. And then we walk, hey, Mark, how you doing? Cut in line. So we got in. Didn't have to wait as long as other people had to. I'm now ashamed. Rightfully so. Whoa, Paul, why, thank you, sir. Awesome. So, now I've got that Disney story out of the way. Let me continue. I'm going to bring this around and let you guys see what the software I'm working on looks like. So give me 1 second as I scoot you around. And so that I can see and you can see too. Okay, hang on there. And down we go. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Oh, Megan, glad you're back. Okay, I think. So I'm gonna kind of scoot myself over here so I can talk to you as I deal with this, and you can see what's going on here. So at this point, this is the entire video as it's been edited. Missing go traveling to go to parks. Oh yeah. Well, hey, that was a nice thing, man. It was a beautiful sunny day we went. It was warm. You know, it was, oh, earthquake. All right, start. I can't touch the table. It's not stable enough. So, much like myself. Hang on. Okay. So this is the whole edited thing. Now what we have here is basically the narration or the voiceover track between myself and George Trullinger, who was the former cast member. He was a skipper in the 1980s at the park, 3 years, and he had some great stories to tell. Hey, Monique, good to see you. You love Disneyland too. Who doesn't? Well, I'm sure there's got to be somebody. Anyway, the point is, this is the basic narration track between myself and George. These underlying tracks are the ambient sound that went with some of the clips that you're watching, because though George and I are talking, you get to see the park, and you're not going to watch any talking heads. You know, talking heads. You do like talking heads, don't you? You know, sometimes that can be a rather off the wall, can I? Anyway, so there we go. Now, down here, gotta scroll this down. This is like being a newscaster, trying to do things kind of backwards. Not quite, but sort of. Okay, let's go over here. We're gonna slide the audio track, hopefully, so you can get to see it. Okay, it's down here somewhere. There it is. Okay, here we have the 3 music cues that I chose to represent the various segments of the video. And then the last segment, it was really weird. We didn't plan it this way. In fact, it was a last minute decision to even record it. George and I did a rollout, our sign off. And it was by the fire station where Walt Disney had his apartment above it. And we hey, we need to do a sign off. Turned on the camera, we started chit-chatting, and the music that was playing ended at the right spot as we said goodbye. Well, thank you, Scorpion. I do appreciate that. I'm trying to up my game, to be honest. This is why I'm streaming right now, because I made a decision that I was going to stream at least once a week, and trust me, it's not as easy as I had hoped it would be, because things get in the way. But that's another story. Let's go on with this. So, in fact, let me bring this in so you can see a little closer. You don't need to see my face all the time. And we'll bring this down a little more. And we'll bring that there. Okay, I think you can see that pretty well, can't you guys? There you go. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So what we have here, these are the different clips. Now, just so you know, I'm not going to be able to read the chats as much because I'm at an oblique angle to everything that you are, I'm like a 45-degree angle. So like over here, this is some of the Star Wars stuff. Now, I didn't get to use much of it because it just didn't work into the narrative that we were doing. But what I may do, since it's not in there, I'll run you a little clip. In fact, I can run you a little clip right here. It's all set up. What do you know about that? I hope it's ready to run. Oh, that was the other thing I've discovered. I'm going to have to upgrade my computer because this is really sluggish with all the work I'm doing. So anyway, come on, baby, play for me.
Are you and your team ready?
What happened? Come on, give me the audio.
Engage repulsors and hold on, recruits.
Okay, so let's do that again. Now you see right here, that's the amount of the clip that I used. That's the entire amount of the video. It's quite a bit, but I only needed. So let's go back over here. Okay, so yeah, you can watch this. So I'm not going to give away too much. So I got the ride Rise of the Resistance, and let me tell you, that really is an awesome ride. And what's fascinating about it is that there's no track. It's all the cars that you're riding in are being computer controlled, and so wherever you go, you're not on a track. You're just on like a linoleum floor, and off it goes. There's George. Look at him. Now this, I know I don't want to give it away. You can watch it, but I'm not going to tell you what's going on here. Those of you who've ridden it, you know what it is. But this was a lot of fun to ride. And as you can see, even when you're shooting, especially when you're shooting on the fly like this, you got to keep the camera rolling because you never know what's going to be worth getting. And then you have to like catch your shot, hold your camera, hold it steady, and then you're trying to be situationally aware and just say, okay, I'm going to move the camera over here to capture this piece of action. And it's hard going, well, okay, when do I cut away? When do I go back to the action? But you know that later you're going to edit, so it really won't matter. But that was a lot of fun. Let's see. Tell me, you want to see more of the Rise of the Resistance? If you do, I'll throw it up for there. But you got to give me like some comments or some thumbs up or something. You can see it well. Well, it's a good thing. Appreciate that. So, yeah, let's see here. Here's what shall we do? Okay, we'll do this clip here. I hope the audio is good enough. Show some turkey leg. Gobble gobble. It really is an amazing ride. I mean, I'd like to do it again, but we didn't have time. We did a lot. And what was really a blessing is that our host, she would walk up to the person running the ride and say, we have an ex-cast member here and a guest, and we were ushered up to the front of the line. It was fantastic. Let's see what else I'm going to show you here that's fun. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll show you, I did what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes, which unfortunately I'm not going to use in this video, where I talked about it. So here we go. Resistance. And let me tell you, this is the most amazing ride I've ever been on. It is so immersive. The pre-show is fantastic, but the entire ride, I can't even give you words to tell you how amazing it is. I'm going to give you one word of advice. Do not take your cameras inside. One, you don't want to disturb the other guests to the park while you're riding the ride, but more importantly, you want to experience the entire ride through your eyes and not through the lens of your camera. All right? And that's a fact. You want to go there and just enjoy it. If you want to go back after you've ridden it the first time and you've soaked it in, that's fine. But don't take a camera that's going to in any way interfere with viewing of the other riders. Let's see. Does anybody have any requests? If not, which you probably don't, I think I'm going to swing back around here and chit chat with you for a few more minutes, and then we'll call it a night because this is not necessarily a long video. Hang on, what's it say? When you are filming with your iPhone, you are using the stock app or using Filmic. I am using the stock app. I have yet to learn all of the bells and whistles of this particular phone. Again, it's like this new software. I'm having to learn a lot of new things right now, and I can't wait till I learn everything. So I'm just jumping into the deep end of the pool and going with it. And now, for example, in fact, this is I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things you'll see here, notice how washed out that picture is. That's not how it's going to look. This picture over here, let's see, come on, push. All right, fine, I'll do it this way. You see this picture of Walt? When I get done color grading and color correcting, that washed out image. Yeah, I've heard that, Nosh, and I'm definitely going to look into it. This image here, this image here will look as good as this image there. In fact, I've color corrected this image. Even though it's a still picture, I color corrected it. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, here we go. So, yeah, oh, we don't want to see that guy, do we? Let's find something more interesting that we can play in the background. Let's see. What can we play? Let's see. Again, I don't know what they call it. I guess it's Star Wars Land or something. It was a lot of fun. But, let's go with something more classic, shall we? Let's go with the Riverboat Cruise. Yes. We had one particular, as you watch this, keep your eye on the fellow, one of the cast members. He clearly likes to be in the limelight. So hang on here, and I'll bring that over that way. There we go. So we can all watch this together. So here we go. And then as we do, I'll talk about, hey. Is that the wrong clip? It must be. Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay, fine. Start back here. So, as I said, we went all over the park. George had some great stories to talk about, especially how he became a cast member, why he became a cast member. And for those of you who don't know who George is, working at Disney helped launch his career. He eventually became a professional entertainer. He was Buddy Holly for 25 years in Las Vegas in the Legends and Concerts show. And then he has since, you definitely got to go. There he is. Watch this.
Back away from the camera. Back away from the camera. Sir,
I don't see anyone in there. You see?
He says, I don't see anybody in there.
Even harder?
They're there. I promise you, they're
I
there.
don't see anyone in there.
You want?
No, not yet. Again, Nosh, I've only used this program 3 times, and this is time number 3. So every time I use this, I go online and watch a new tutorial, usually about the thing I need to do, like slipping, or if you're going to spend your life changing video. I'm going to send you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nosh. I lost my train of thought. God, that's great. I have no idea where I was going with that conversation. Anybody? Bueller? Anyone? Help me out here? Woo-hoo! Yeah, derailed, Nosh. Okay, so let's see if I can take it in a different direction. Let's keep it rolling so at least we have some video in the background, and then we'll play something else. I want to go back so bad. I had such a good time. Oh, I know. I was talking about George's career. After he played Buddy Holly, he went on to play Ed Sullivan in the Fab Four show. Fab Four is one of the premier Beatles tribute bands. They travel the world. You can look them up online. I guess that's something else I'll have to put in here in this link later after I finish this stream. The Mark Twain is great. Oh, there are some naughty stories about the Mark Twain that I can't repeat here. There he goes again. Get away from the camera. But it seems that certain cast members, if they met an attractive young lady at the park and was working the Mark Twain ride, they might go on there alone. Or if they didn't go on there alone, they would go up to the pilot house and lock the door. And they'd go around and around and around. And I'll let your minds figure out what they were doing up there in the pilot's captain. I'm terrible. All right, cut, next take. Let's see what else we're going to look at. Now, here's one for you. This is probably one of those rides very few of you have ever taken, the Storybook ride. It basically covers all the animated cartoons that Disney did in the early days. Three Little Pigs, Cinderella, I don't know, you name it, But it's a kind of a charming ride. But what I like about it is there's a nice view of the Matterhorn that you don't normally see anywhere in any of the videos. So we'll run that. So there you go. There's a view of the Matterhorn. And that is our host, who is a cast member and got us into the park. Her name is Brianna. And she's one of the operators of that particular ride. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Is there something else that might be fun to watch? Well, give you an idea so you know what that ride is all about. Here we go. Oh, Jaws, dun, 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 dun. It's actually Monstro from Pinocchio. Yeah, let's see, what else shall we look at? Well, since we've talked about George and the Jungle Cruise, I think it's only fitting that we'll wrap this up with a couple clips of that. And if you have any questions about, editing or about the experience at Disneyland, hey, fire away. Let's see, what's the best one to show you? Oh, I know. I hang my head in shame. Because on more than one occasion on that particular ride, I thought I was filming and was getting some awesome shots. It didn't happen a couple of times. Sometimes I was missing the mark by a long shot. Such as this shot, where the camera is basically in my lap. And I'm figuring, I'm going, la, 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 nothing to shoot here. And then I bring up the camera and turn it on, when in reality, I was actually turning the camera off. So I kept turning it off when it was in my lap, or turning it on when it was in my lap, and turning it off when I was trying to shoot. Fortunately, I still got some shots I could use. Now that I've given away that secret. What was that? My goodness. Okay. I know. We'll check this out. Yes. And then we'll wrap it up. So here we are.
What's your name?
And her name is Bella. And what was kind of cool is that one of the boats is called the Amazon Belle. Isn't that sweet? Okay. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like I'm kind of, running at the mouth at this point. Thanks for, watching, guys. Everyone knows, if you like the video, if you feel like it, comment. I think I don't really need to do that anymore. I like to, YouTube says do that. Yes, Katayama, I am a rambler, and not the car, as if anybody knows what a rambler is these days since it's out of business. Okay, dude, you could talk about stocks for 3 hours, and I would, you'd watch it, really? Okay, well, I just might do that. Be careful. Be careful what you wish for. So, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Tuning in. Nash Rambler. I actually had one. Boxy little cars. It was beige. It was ugly. It was my first car. I was 16. And I was embarrassed to drive it to school. And you're a great rambler, and don't ever feel bad about that. Well, thank you, Scorpion. Okay, guys. I guess that's it. Thanks again. I tell you what, I'm going to bring this around, and I will run one more little clip for you to sign us off. We'll come and close. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'll give you just a wee hint of what the video is going to be like, and we'll go out on that. So, so here we go. This is the one you want to watch, so we'll put it over here. Hope the audio is loud enough for you guys. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go.
Hey there, folks. It's UFO Bob, and we're about to enter the happiest place on Earth.
As you can see, it's lagging.
Today, we're at the Jungle Cruise. And why is that? Because we have a cast member from the 1980s, Mr. George Trullinger.
Okay, that's all you get. If you want to see the whole thing, you're going to have to wait at least one more week. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the future.